Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. Getting off to a quick start here. We're just here today. I'm with my friend Squeezy, and Dean is working on getting his video to work, but he will be
Uh,
with us by audio, right, Dean? We can still hear
Yes.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Dean and Squeezy are our co-hosts for our trip to Grenada from January 17th, 2020 to January 21st, 2020. And the reason I brought them on board today is so that they can share with you all of their enthusiasm and their plans and all of the wonderful things that we're going to be doing. I can tell you what my portion will be while we're there on this trip, but these two wonderful men are going to tell you what they're going to bring to our adventure as well. Affectionately known as Squeezy, his name is Christopher. Squeezy's here to tell us some of the things that he'll be doing with us. He will be planning and taking us on an adventure with his wisdom and experience as not only being a native of Grenada, born and raised there, but he's also an artist, he's a musician, he's a naturalist, and he's an historian. So he understands the culture and the experience of living and growing up and visiting Grenada, probably in an unprecedented way, and he's going to be sharing all of these experiences with us while we're there. So, Squeezy, what do you have in store for us?
okay, Karen, thank you so much for introducing me. Let me first introduce myself properly. My name is Christopher Antoine. And as she said before, I'm an artist. I'm also a tour guide in Grenada, especially with the German speaking people, because we don't have much people in Grenada that speaks German. So I'm okay when it comes to German language, and also Spanish and French, and very much versed when it comes to Grenadian history. But my duty is to inform you exactly as to what Grenada is all about, and things you should expect, and things you would probably not seen at all. Okay, you with me, guys?
We're with you. We're with
Uh,
you. And
all
that's
right.
why you're here. And one of the reasons that I chose Grenada was not only because of my friendship with Dean, who was also born and raised in Grenada, but because it's a
Mm-hmm.
place that many of us have not traveled to. So part of the
Right.
adventure of bringing in the vibration of 2020 is to
Mm,
experience something new in a way that's unfamiliar and in a way that is not as tourists would see things. And that's definitely where you come in.
that's exactly because lots of people, when they come to Grenada, what they say is that they never knew that there is such a small island in the Caribbean that is so fertile. When I said fertile, I mean really fertile, meaning that Grenada has one of the best soil in the world. We grow all kind of organic stuff, and it's just natural. Most of it, people don't even have to plant. Even if a mustard seed fall in the soil, it would happen to grow. That's how good our soil is. So when you're in Grenada, you will get a chance to eat organic stuff, fruits, vegetables, you just name it, right? And when it comes to our waters, the beaches and so on, it's very clean. So you can go snorkeling, and you can lie on the beach. First and foremost, Grenada is a very, very peaceful place. And this is the most important thing. When you go on holiday, you must have at least a little bit of tranquility, peace, and comfort. And that's what
Yes,
we offer in
yes,
Grenada, first and
yes,
foremost. But
yes.
whatever I say here on the today, you can go research it on the internet, so you would know exactly what I'm speaking about, right? So Grenada is a place that has a lot of nutmegs. We are very well known for our nutmeg, and of course they call us the Isle of Spice. That's because we got the most spices in the world per square kilometer,
Wow.
right? Meaning that every few footsteps that you take in Grenada, you would see a spice tree. If it's not a nutmeg, it would be a cinnamon tree, it would be a clove tree, you would see ginger, you would see turmeric, and all sort of stuff. So that's important just as well. Getting to see the vegetation, right, is very important. And just a few years ago, we started our chocolate factory in Grenada. That would also
when
be
was that?
because we have, it's in Victoria, the chocolate factory.
Okay.
It was introduced to Grenada just about 3 years ago, so it's fairly new. And of course, all over Grenada, we have the nutmeg fabric. In Grenada, we call it the nutmeg pool, but it's called internationally the nutmeg fabric. That's where the farmers bring the nutmeg, right? And then they processed in the nutmeg fabric. And then after, they would take the nutmeg, put it in bags, and ship it abroad. You know the reason for the world buying our nutmeg and our nutmeg mace, it is so important. And as a small island as Grenada, we used to be the second largest in the world.
Okay.
For a small island. Yeah, the second largest producer of nutmeg in the world. The largest producer is Indonesia.
So you'll be bringing us to the chocolate factory. Where else will you be bringing us that day?
I want to bring you guys to the chocolate factory, to the rum distillery. We have
that's something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we have one of the oldest rum distillery in the world. It's still brewed the old-fashioned way. You know, so that's organic rum too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not much preservative there. I think the most they have is just yeast. That's about it. And it's fermented and boiled to about 500 degrees and so on. So you get all the bacteria out of it and you get real sugarcane rum.
Okay.
That's
while we are at the chocolate factory and while we're at the rum factory, Dean hasn't been able to get on through video today, but Dean was going to share with us what he's going to be doing while we are with you. Dean, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Dean,
yes.
You gave me a great feeling for what you're going to be up to while we're going through the two factories. You're going to be down at the beach. And what are you going to be doing down at the beach for us?
Right. So so you're going to leave St. George with Christopher, and he's going to be guiding you guys over the rainforest. And he didn't talk about that yet, but we're going to go to Granitang Lake. There's a nice lake over there that he's going to explain to you guys the history of the lake and so on.
Okay.
And while you're up there, while you're coming, I would have already left and went to the northern part of the island, and that is Bathway. It's called Bathway. And there we are going to do, some friends of mine going to join me, and we're going to prepare local meals. One of the local meal, which is called Oil Down, and we're going to do some grilled fish, so fresh catch fish from that day, and some lobster.
That's what you told me. Grilled and baked lobster straight from the sea.
So the lobster
is fresh, just caught fresh that day.
It's all fresh, and the lobster is a different lobster than what you get from Maine. Now, if you think lobster is great from Maine, wait till you get our spiny lobster from the Caribbean. This is so sweet. And so we're going to have it fresh down there. I know you mentioned before you have some people that are vegetarian. So we are going to do a pot that is going to be vegetarian.
And vegan as well. Okay.
Right, for those people. We also have something that Christopher and I are going to bring. It's kind of like the caviar of the Caribbean. It's called the sea urchins. You call it sea urchins. We call it sea egg. It's like a caviar.
You told me about that.
And when it's well baked, it's really good. Just for you guys to try. I mean, it's not the main part of the dish, but if you want to try it, you can. It's always good, to try new things.
Okay,
so we're gonna have that.
Okay.
And then once we finish there, and like I said, if you want to do a meeting there, we're gonna have a tent and chairs and everything there.
Right at the beach.
You would really enjoy that beach. Is amazing. It's beautiful. It's very much different from the Grandlands Beach where we'll be residing at. It's a little more rocky and rugged, and so you'll get to see two different kinds of beaches in Grenada, and on that same day.
And so where we're staying, where the resort is, that's more of a sandy beach?
Yeah, that's a nice sand. Grandlands Beach, yes. It's sandy. Yeah.
It's one of the longest beach in the world. It's 3.5 miles long. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's where we'll be staying. Okay, good. Well, we're going to be dividing our time among 3 different areas of focus. You know, all times when we're looking to expand ourselves, we want to expand mind, body, and spirit. So my role here for us is to expand our mind by bringing in thoughts and ideas and information from guides and from eternal sources that can help us to be prepared for the energy of 2020 and beyond. Because as long as we're prepared, we can allow that energy to work for us instead of us working against that energy. So we will be having conversation about what to expect, how to advance ourselves with that energy. But then the spirit and the body part, and the mind, of course, Squeezy and Dan will be definitely helping us with those. They'll make sure that, I think Dean said this very well about how important it is to be nourishing our bodies so that our minds can take in and absorb and integrate all of the information that we're experiencing. So Dean was telling me things like, you could fill me in on this, Squeezy. Instead of just having tea, can you explain what chocolate tea is in Grenada?
I was going to say something like that way up, but I just leave the best for last sometimes. You know, when I was speaking about the vegetation and everything in Grenada is just so organic, I really meant that we were going to taste all the different herbs, the different tea for different purposes, the reason for the spice tea and the reason for that tea and what it would do to your body is very important. So people can take back those stuff with them as not only as souvenir, as things they can explain to people and have at their own home as a medicine kit.
Yes.
For example, we have the soursop tree. The soursop is a fruit that has something like prickle on it. In Spanish, they call it guanabana, in case you guys not that familiar with the word soursop. And this fruit is very, very high in vitamin B17 because it prevents cancerous diseases.
Right.
So when you suck on this fruit, right, your risk of getting cancer, is become lower. So then we have the soursop leaf also, that when you boil it as a tea, right, you're protecting yourself from cancerous diseases. What it does, it kills the cancerous cells in your body. You understand? But it's best to use it. It's best to use it in the evening time when you're going to bed, because it would cause you to sleep. So that's
what we're interested in doing right away.
Example. That's just one example. And then we have something called kola nut, right? Kola nut. Kola nut gives you energy. Most people, sometimes they feel very tired and want to have an energy drink, which is not so good for you. And then you could get to use kola nut, and you will get to know all those things you can take back at home and know how to use it. Kola nut.
So you're suggesting that we bring one empty suitcase so that we can take some of these riches back home with us, right?
Exactly. And then we have stuff, another stuff that the guys drink with rum.
Okay.
They call it bourbon. The word bourbon, it's a French word. Yeah. Bois means wood. Yeah. And bande means group. So it's a group of people having a drink that is just and yet still being so highly aphrodisiac.
Ah.
You got the picture?
Yeah, I got the picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got all those stuff. And then I never heard, I don't know if you heard of, if you guys heard of, there's a herb called Moringa. Ever
No, I
heard
have
about this
not.
herb?
No, I have not.
Moringa. We in Africa, they use a lot of Moringa just as well. And Moringa is a herb that carries almost every substance that the body needs.
Okay.
Vitamin, carbohydrates, just
So
name
you're
it.
definitely going
You
to be
know?
taking care of the body portion for us and the
Yeah,
spirit
you
portion,
have to
no
take
doubt.
care of the body in order to achieve everything else.
One thing that Dean is orchestrating very beautifully for us, because he still has so many friends and family that live in Grenada, is he will be having some of the people that he's very close to prepare meals for us, not just the meal from that day when we'll be visiting the factories, the rum and the chocolate factories, and going through the rainforest, but he'll also be helping to prepare meals for us when we're closer to the Grand Anse Beach. We'll have traditional breakfasts, and one of the things that he was explaining, I'll see if I can, if we can still hear Dean. He was explaining how different the coconut milk from Grenada is than the traditional coconut milk that we get in the United States, right, Dean?
One of the things, and one of the things I do want to say, I know Christopher is very modest, and he doesn't tell you everything about himself. Yeah, but this guy is he's essentially a herbal doctor, so he knows all of the herbs in Grenada, what they're good for.
No, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, he is, and he's in the process right now of writing a book on herbal medicine, Grenada's herbal medicine.
Wow.
And he learned a lot of those things from his grandmother. His grandmother was one, but she operated on me. She did stuff for me when I was a kid, when I was sick. So she used all the herbs. So in Grenada, they still use the herbs for healing, and we have tons of those healing herbs there. We use food in the Caribbean as medicine. So one of the things we do when we get up in the mornings, we would have a fresh coconut. And those were some of the things that we are going to do down there. So when you get up in the morning, you'll have fresh coconut. It energizes you. The coconut, as Squeezy can tell you, has a lot of electrolytes, and it really energizes you for the day. So before we do anything, we'd get up and we'd have a coconut, and we'd drink the coconut water, and we'd be really refreshed and ready for the entire day. So
just
I mentioned
that, Dean. Just to emphasize on that part of it, a lot of people did not know that coconut water is called a substitute for blood.
Oh, wow.
And it's coconut water is called a substitute for blood. During World War II, coconut water was used instead of plasma because they could not find enough plasma. Plasma is what you call drips in the hospitals. When the wounded soldiers lost so much blood, they could not find enough blood to reinforce the soldiers, so they had to use coconut water.
I know. I'm sure that anyone listening right now would not have known that at all. That definitely is.
They had to use coconut water. You can look all those things.
I'm in New Jersey right now, and I will be giving another seminar in New Jersey in a couple of minutes, so we don't have that much more time. If anybody has any questions about some of the things that we'll be doing, or any questions specifically about our trip to Grenada, please type them into the chat group. What I do want to tell you is a couple of other things about the trip. Some of the, a lot of people like to know more of the facts and the details about what we'll be experiencing. Number one, that we'll be having adventures every day from Friday night when we arrive until Tuesday. We'll be doing things, enjoying the music of Grenada, the art of Grenada, of course, the food and the spices and the wonderful, rich life of Grenada. And we'll also be, again, talking about this wonderful incoming energy of 2020, which has been on its way in for quite a while, but will be gaining momentum and will change the way that we perceive reality from the next decade on. So we want to be prepared for that. But also know that included in your fee for coming are all of the adventures that we'll be taking, including the transportation to and from. But there are so many other things to do in Grenada that I will be giving you some time off, not a lot of time off, but I'll be giving you a little bit of time off each day. So even at the beautiful, luxurious resort that we're staying at, you can enjoy snorkeling, you can enjoy water sports. We'll give you a little bit of time if you wanted to take a boat out or do a local adventure. And as we get closer to the end of January, after mid-December, we'll give you a list of different things that you can opt in for. But also know that all of the adventures that we take you on, including the food and the music and the dance and so on, including a nice hike through the rainforest, it's all included in your fee.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to go on every single event with us, we welcome you. But of course, if there was something that you wanted to do on your own, we'll give you some suggestions of things that you can do alternatively. We do expect that over the course of 4 days, your mind and your body and your spirit will all be expanded in a setting that is uncommon, that is incredibly natural, incredibly free-spirited, very, very safe. And I'm available at any time. If you have any questions, just email Karen at karengarvey.com. You can answer questions about the trip. Based on our arrangements with the hotel, there will be a slight increase in the fee on November 1st, which is just 4 days away. So I would like for you to be able to reserve your spot for our trip before November 1st. I do have a question: can we snorkel from the beach, or do we need to take a boat first? Dean, I'm going to let you answer that one.
Yeah, you can. You can do that right off the beach if you wish.
Okay.
But I know there are people that do the snorkeling tours and stuff, but you can do that off the beach also. I'm going to let Christopher add something to that because he has a lot more experience with me than I do on that. So, Christopher.
Yeah, well, that's really easy pickings because I got a friend that has his own business right on the beach, and you can do all the snorkeling with him.
Okay,
and,
good.
You know what? Saying that, we also have a great wonder of the world in Grenada. I think we rank number 10, the first 20. There is some little Caribbean, this artifacts that we have underneath the water, underneath the ocean.
Yes, I did read about that.
Yeah, you can go snorkeling and see all this under the ocean, you know?
Yes, that's
really
one of the things that I did read. Excellent snorkeling. Yes, there's
and I walked through the forest. I walked through the forest to the waterfall would also be very good. It's very attractive. And you don't have to be frightened because Grenada has no venomous snakes. We got no venomous insects on the island. So you don't have to be worried.
That was one of the first things that he told me is that there's no wildlife that's out to attack us in Grenada. We're safe that way. We're safe because the island is friendly.
That's true.
And wonderful and welcoming.
Nothing. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's true.
Excellent. Karen,
also, if you go onto YouTube, you can see what Christopher is talking about the underwater attraction stuff. Yeah,
yes, I did. And I think it's a great suggestion to go online to look at that. I have seen it. It almost looks like statues and monuments under the water. To me, it looked it almost looked like a shrine or a meditative area. It's a sight to behold. It's only one like it in the world. But yes, there are lots of natural and man-made attractions and artifacts off the waters of Grenada. But it's also, I remember one person said that they're not going to be able to come because they haven't been in a bathing suit in 20 years. But just so you know, if you want to go to Grenada the non-bathing suit way, we can get that done for you too. So everything that it is that you want available to you, come on board. I do have a question of what temperature is the water in January. I would actually have to look that up. I don't know it off the top of my head. Does anybody know the water temperature in Grenada? I know that they
I would say
year
about
round.
I would say about 18 to 22 degrees.
And that
Quite
hopefully
warm.
would be Celsius.
That's yeah, of course. That's quite warm.
Okay, good. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't have a calculator for Americans to put that into
That would probably be
Fahrenheit
what?
right away.
About 70 some.
Yeah, that would be about 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
So we'll type that in, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, and then they can go to their conversion chart. But anyway, again, email Karen at Karen Garvey if you have any questions. We'll be putting out a very specific agenda after mid-December. But again, if you want to lock in your price and reserve your spot before the rooms are taken, please do so by November 1st. And you can after that, but you'd save yourself a little bit of money by then. But thank you for joining. Thanks for being here, Squeezy. And thank you for being here, Dean. I appreciate you guys taking the time for us. Thanks.
Yes.
All right.
All right, then. Have a great day. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.